What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? We are live, bringing you guys PGA Pub Hub. We are back at it this time. U.S. Open, another major, just like that, guys. Snap your fingers, and we got another one. But before we get into that, right in the background there, you guys can see there the St. George's. I can see if I can get the right in the background there. Royal St. George's last week. Rory McIlroy, what a spectacular performance the guy put on, Connor. Everything he was doing. I watched a lot of pre-interviews after, and he's going to start trying to walk off a lot of his shots here. He didn't have the same caddy. He didn't have his normal caddy here, guys. He had a caddy he had from Australia, actually, I believe. Dubsy, you never know. Dubsy might know. Shout out to Dubsy. We should have Dubsy Anderson and Cam Stewart on again here, guys, throughout the show. But that caddy, guys, he didn't get involved as much. Rory was walking off. Like on number 6, I was right there. He walked off. He was pacing off a lot of shots. He was getting more involved. You get a lot more feel. You need that too in a course like this where you get a lot of blind shots. You got to really know your distances. Maybe you got your caddies, but Rory was pacing everything off, and it was working, guys. He had a little bit of a hiccup on 12. JT came back. Tony Finau was in the mix. Justin Rose shot 10 under, 3 eagles in a goddamn round. Like, Connor? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I have, but not too many guys do that, especially, with the par 5s being limited there. You know what I mean? Usually
exactly.
Eagles come with par 5s, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's just unbelievable. I mean, he was making like approach shots too. It's not like he had to get a couple putts, but he had that one approach there. I think it was on 3 or something like that, or 2. And he made that eagle. So he started off his round 10 under, almost shot a 59 too. Just had a little hiccup on number 18 in between clubs there because the rough here, Connor, it was ankle high for sure. It was ankle high. Patrick and company, a lot of these guys, they didn't show up. Or everyone scored on Sunday, guys. Reason being is because of how soft the conditions were. Yeah. I tweeted it out right away. I heard a couple of these shots hitting the greens, Connor, and it was like a sponge. It was sticking and it wasn't moving. So throw a little spin on there. It was really easy approach. So if you're in the fairways, it's very similar to this course. You stay in the fairways, you're going to have you're going to have a better chance to control the ball. You're not going to see the same soft greens like you did this week, though, guys. They expect it to be conditions are going to be windy, going to be a lot drier here down in Brookline, Massachusetts, right outside of Boston, Massachusetts. So, anything you want to go over there from last week, Connor, or how'd you do?
Just real quick. Well, I had Tony Finau. I thought he was playing really good golf, but I backed it up with some money on a top 5 and top 10. But and he played well. Rory just was unbelievable. It's not like he really choked on Sunday, like you talked about. The conditions were soft. Guys were going low. Yeah, when Rory gets rolling, that's where he just goes. So it's just, when is that going to happen for him? But back-to-back wins there. I got a couple there. So Finau into that. Connors played well. He got that top 10 Sunday. Plus 275. Aaron Rye top 20 plus 325. So decent week. I made a little bit of profit. So it was solid, but I'm ready for the U.S. Open here. Brookline should be a tough test. It always, to me, toughest test every year in golf.
Absolutely. This is a tough test, and we've been seeing the board pretty clearly. Hit one 2 weeks ago, and then Connor had a good week last week. I hit 3 top 10s too, guys. Fitzpatrick, Kirk, Mitchell, Connors, Todd top 20, and even Long top 40. So
yeah, Todd, nice. Yeah, a few of my guys, I went top 10 with him, and he ended up just out. So I know that's one maybe I should have doubled her up. So yeah,
I'm doing that again this week, Connor. I'm doubling up a lot of my top 10s, top 20s, just because, guys, we hit 3 top 10s along with 3 top 20s. We also hit the Todd Father, Connors. It really worked out. Our matchup bets, surprisingly, we were really good on the matchup at the start of the year. We went 1-4 in the matchup bets, but that was taken care of with these bombs. I believe we had like 5-1, 4-1 on Kirk and Mitchell, so top 10s. We'll be looking at getting some of those again this week, guys. Let's get right into this one. One more thing, though, Connor, Live Tour. We're going to have some Live Tour guys coming over here. I got about 9 big names. I got DJ, Phil, Garcia, Gooch, Reed, Grace, Louis, and Big Bad DeChambeau. All these guys are in the field, guys, but you're not going to see them anytime soon in the PGA going forward. They've all committed to the Live Tour, and they'll be playing in. I don't even want to talk about where they're playing. Who cares about that? But they will be. This will probably be their last go for the good while, or the foreseeable future. So it's a full field PGA from what you've seen in 2019, 2018, the last few years. You got them all back. Phil Mickelson too. That's a big one, Connor. I don't know what to what to think with Phil, with DJ, even Patrick Reed, who just left. He's saying he's gone, but now he's going to come back. Oh, I'm going to play the U.S. Open though. Like people hate you,
yeah.
Patrick. Like you better.
Well, real quick, this is going to be a big deal. Will this be the last time these guys do this, or are they going to be welcome? It looks like the PGA is going to take a big stand. Can these guys play in majors? Can they play at Augusta, past champion like DJ, shit like that? Will they be allowed? A lot of shit that's going to go forward. They're obviously going to play this week, it looks like, but yeah, how this is all going to shake out is going to be very interesting. As a lot of guys are jumping ship, and there'll be a few more as well that are going to go over that tour.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
not done yet.
What I'm hearing too is it's all going to be dependent on the individual, like the Masters is individual, US Open's individual, same with the Open. Now the PGA Championship, that's the PGA, so they're going to hold on to that, and they're not going to allow them to come back there. But when it comes to the other three guys, it's going to be up to them. The PGA, Jay Monahan, I've heard him say it's up to them. I'm not going to get involved in that, but he can say they're not coming back to the PGA Championship. So we'll see. US Open, we got a huge field, guys. The Country Club, it's a historical event, probably the fifth, actually not probably, it is the fifth top golf course in the world, Connor. Up there with Shinnecock Hills, some of the other courses here. This is one of the oldest courses too, just like the one they played up there in Canada. This is dating back to 1892 is when they first brought this one in. Connor, way back in the day. 1913 was the first US Open. Since then, they've had a 2013 US Amateur, which was won by Fitzpatrick, which I have nothing good to say about the guy. Nothing good to say. Don't even get me going with that guy. But he did win the 2013 US Amateur. 1999, they had the Ryder Cup here as well, Connor. Some players that did well there was Phil Mickelson and Garcia. They were both in that. So they have a bit of course history here. It's a real different track, guys. You have three different three different tracks, and you're using 6 holes from each track. That being the Clyde, the Primrose, and the Old Championship course. So they're really dividing it up there. It's going to be a real neat landscape. You're going to have rocks. It's in New England, right? So you got the rocks all throughout the golf course. You're going to have you're going to need you're going to be very strategic going through this golf course because you got fescue around the bunkers, similar to what we had the Canadian Open, heavy rough. In the rough too, guys, you're going to see little mounds and stuff. It's because they actually have rocks that are underneath there, and they just have grass and like over top. It's just a little mound, you could say, but they're all over around the green. So you're going to have uneven lies. You're going to have crazy bounces on the fairways. Rough's going to be just as thick too as it was here in Canada. So off the tee is going to be really important here, Connor. Firm and fast, good luck, because the greens are like the size of a coin. They're really, really tiny. So
yeah, small greens, accuracy on some of these guys I talk about that I use with Prize Picks. Rahm, Cam Smith, Corey Connors. This is maybe one he could win where the putting, it's just, which you might want to get into. This could be a golf course he could do very well at.
Coming off that Canadian Open, he was in good spirits. I could tell you on 6th there, he was with Scott Piercy and another chap. Good spirits. He was 4 or 5 under, played really good golf. And you're 100% right, Connor. You need off the tee. It's a similar golf course that the RBC was last week. Now, one thing, guys, that RBC walking, holy shit, I'm going to have calves the size of Phil Mickelson because it was not an easy. Oh, buddy, it was up and down. I don't think there was a flat fairway. Maybe 1 or 2 holes. It's very similar to this track. So guys that went, Rory and JT having to walk that 18 holes, even Tony, it's not going to get any easier at Brookline. So I kind of like some guys that rested last week, to be honest. I'm going to be looking at some guys that were on the rest just because that was a battle. That was a track. That was a trek. Sorry. And
Definitely.
So I already talked about the course ranks, guys. Tops in the world. A lot of rocks and cliffs. Rocky outcroppings, fescue, grassline bunkers, similar, like I said, to the Toronto. Nasty humps, huge rocks underneath, unpredictable lies around the green. The fans too. The fans here, guys, are going to be absolutely nuts. I imagine the Boston fans, this Boston Nick. We all know Boston Nick and how rowdy he can get. So we'll have a lot of those fans and company down in Boston. So that should be really good atmosphere there. And just another thing, guys, this is a really hilly track. But the first and the 18th hole were on an old horse track. It was actually really flat. There used to be an old horse track here back in the 1900s. So that's really the only flat part. Greens are nestled. Greens run back to front, side to side. So you have a lot of slope if it's going front to back, left to right. They're not just your typical easy Shriners Open greens. You know, they're actually tough greens. What else do I have here? Only Pebble Beach features smaller greens too, Connor. So
yeah,
this is the dimes, guys. Really small greens, and you said it too, Connor. Connors, your boy Connors. He's a guy I think can check that box because he's really straight off the tee. His approach from distance is damn good, and smaller the green, the better for the guy. So I don't mind that look. Windy conditions though are going to make this course even. Just throw, flip a coin at some points. You get some of these winds in there, guys. 75 degrees, 75 Fahrenheit. Sorry. It's just going to make it really tough to hold the greens, Connor. You're going to get into the rough. You're going to have awkward lies. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. And seeing Terrell Hatton last week, he didn't look good at all. He was one of the guys that I had him in some matchup bets. He looked really bad, and I was thinking maybe he bounces back, but it's not going to get any easy for Terrell, guys.
I don't want him. He's so erratic off the tee because his flat stick is his game. He doesn't look right. Yeah, I do not want him.
And there's so much like you can get bad lies, bad stuff. Like he's I could see him getting set off and like not in a good way either. So Terrell Hatton, he's probably going to be a fade more I think about it. And last thing I have here is very difficult recovery from around the green, which really a lot of golfers are going to have that. You're not going to hold all these greens. So you're going to do the best you can. But when you're coming in from looking at hole by hole, you got holes that are 490, almost 500 par fours. You got a lot of deep par fours. So you're going to have 180, 190 coming in. So one more thing too about the course, par threes, guys, you have 211, 220, 197, and 131. Number 11, Connor, really, really tiny hole. Again, you're gonna have to control the spin. It's kind of like a Pebble Beach style, that one hole with not as much drop off. But it's very kind of similar. You're not on the ocean though. Par fives, there's one that's 625 yards, a real bomber uphill, guys. You got fescue all around it. So I believe it's number 14. Look out for that one. Guys that don't hit the fairway off the tee are going to have to lay up. And then it's just going to be a battle to try to get up to that green. It's, more I think about it, guys, this is in a weird way, it's kind of like Pebble Beach on the East Coast. That hole, in a weird way, that would maybe be a comparison. More I think about it, in the 2019 U.S. Open, that's exactly where it was. And I have here Gary Woodland, Koepka, Alexander, Rahm were all in the top four there. So the more I think about it, Connor, this is in a weird way kind of like that, but it's on bent grass. It's not far from the Atlantic coast, being in Boston. So, in a weird way, I think that's somewhat of a comparison. But let me throw it over to you, buddy. What do you got to say?
Yeah, you mentioned that it is a little bit, but slightly different. But it'll play like when Pebble plays the U.S. Open. Because we have to play it every year. But when it's playing tough, you talked about the rough is long, tiny greens, like you talked about. And they haven't been here in a long time. And you mentioned the difference it's going to be. So all that old shit, you can't even go back. I mean, I know Phil and Sergio. Now it's totally different. So open up, and the big names are here, and I think they will be. The big boppers will be in contention. I'm going to try to find value down the line in a few guys, and this week is always different than normal. I'm going to look at a few guys with like bogey avoidance.
Yeah.
The guys that get around, Shane Lowry. I finally might use your guy that you didn't like last week. That he was in his head that you were. I saw your shit on Twitter, your pictures. Matthew Fitzpatrick. If he can, a guy that's bogey avoidance, and that I haven't used. I know you've used a lot. Maybe this week I look at him. Will he win? I don't know, but maybe finally I pull the trigger with him just because as long as he can get it around, he's a guy that can make par. I think he might be.
A top 20 on him I think is a great pick with Fitzpatrick. The only thing I'm seeing here actually 3-putt avoidance, Connor. I got him at T118. That's one thing he could be, because you know what? Number 3, guys, he could have started off his round on a great angle. What's going on, buddy Coltsy? He could have started his round off great. Our guy here, Fitzpatrick, had about 5 feet on number 3 and missed it. He missed it, left the stick, and he punched with the damn stick in, but he missed it. And then I saw him on a lot of holes. I was actually trying to get Fitzpatrick to kind of say something, kind of relax a bit, because he was so uptight. And the guy didn't say anything. He was just head down. I talked to his caddy a bit. His caddy was, hey, how's it going? Trying to be a little more light, because Fitzpatrick, man, I don't know if he's going to win. He just doesn't seem like a guy that's going to win just watching him there. But I think
he never. Well, that's why I don't use him. I just don't think he will win on the PGA Tour, and it probably won't be here. But his demeanor is always never.
He's
not that golfers need to be hit the ball longer stuff, but just the way he carries himself. But we'll see.
Like look at Justin Rose, an Englishman, carries himself, with 10 under. Had a good time out there. Fitzpatrick just seemed like he not as many smiles. Lowry and Varner were together having a good time. Everyone's having a good time, but Fitzpatrick and his fucking forest green didn't want to talk to anybody. But I still think he can. I think he is going to do half decent here. I don't think he's going to win. 3-putt avoidance is on my card there. I think that's important. Off the tee, shots gained off the tee. If you're in the rough here, you're going to be scrambling all day. You're probably going to be lucky to make the cut. So off the tee, shots gained is important. Shots gained approach, and also scrambling, though. That's probably going to be the big one here. You're going to have to scramble. You're going to get into tough situations. It's unavoidable. So You're going to have to be a good scrambler. Shots gained off the tee. And then, even 3-putt avoidance, but it's a small green. So really, you shouldn't be making many 3-putts, like unless you're a really shitty putter here. You're not going to have long putts, like 55.
No, you're not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that could help out a guy like Fitzpatrick real quick. That's 7th in bogey avoidance, or 8th here as I'm looking at. But you talk about the 3-putt. So maybe, a lot of guys will be chipping off the green, maybe not these long putts that we see on these big greens.
And that's why he won it, I guess, in 2013, because, so I don't want to talk anyone off Fitzpatrick. If he wins, this guy's going to be the demise of my goddamn career. But, Fitzpatrick, very interesting this week. Around the green, I want to go over that last week, guys. It's an important stat. Last week around the green, number 1, Shane Lowry. Number 2, Hadwin, Rory McIlroy, Ty Hatton, Finau, Burns, Scheffler, and Varner were all some of the top players around the green. And then greens and regulation, which are going to be important. Yep, sounds good, Big Show. But approach there, guys, I think it's going to be key. Greens and regulation. Justin Thomas was 1. Burns, Lowry again. Connors, Finau, Danny Lee, Fitzpatrick, McIlroy, Keith Mitchell, and Adam Hadwin. Shout out to Keith Mitchell too. He's a very low key guy, easygoing guy in the golf course. Shout out to him. Was a T7, I believe, for us. So another guy, he's actually made his he got into the Open, Connor, because he did quite well this week. He's into the Open for July. So, and he's actually played there too. Surprisingly, Keith Mitchell played there way back in the day. So look out for Keith Mitchell, possibly, guys. Write that one down at the Open in July. Plus we should be having some guests jump in there throughout the show there. Big Show, whenever you want, just throw them on there and we'll start talking our golf. We still got over a half an hour to go over all of our picks and even the weather. You know what? Before I go into the picks, let's go into the weather. 75 Fahrenheit Thursday, 84 Friday, 73 Saturday, and 70 Sunday. So not on the warmer side of by any means.
Yeah. Normally U.S. Open a little more warmer, so solid weather though.
It's been cool. And up here in Canada, it was no more than about, 21 would be, about 72. It was only about 71, 72 up here in Canada. And that's kind of on the cooler side of things. But the big thing here, Connor, 21 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour, 26, and then it dies down on Sunday to 14. The winds are going to be nasty. That just means with the sun too, it's going to dry those greens right out. So the balls are just going to run right off them. It's going to be around the green fest, if you ask me. And then you're going to have to scramble. You're going to have to scramble. And if you're not in the fairway, then it's even going to be more of a shit show in the rough. Blind shots as well. It's a real old style, like we said, 1892. Hell yeah. All right, let's get into some picks here, guys. Without further ado, let's get into it here. I got about 15 guys I wrote down that catch my eye. Favorites are right now Rory McIlroy 10-1, JT 12, Rahm 14, and Scheffler 14. Then you drop off 20-1 with Cam Smith. I'm going to go all the way to 28-1. That's where he is right now at Bet365, and that is Shane Lowry. I'm going right back to Shane Lowry. This guy's he's going to win sooner or later. I want him on my card.
I agree.
Compared to like Cantlay and Xander or even Burns is about the same odds, but Shane Lowry's really close, guys. He had a good he was number 1 around the green at the Canadian Open. That's a huge stat right there. He was third in greens in regulation, Connor. Putting, it's always been his thing. It's smaller greens, though. He's really good approach. This guy checks all the boxes. His worst stat for me is 43rd shots gained off the tee. He's T32, three putt avoidance. Second in scrambling in the PGA, which is really, really good. And then 9th in shots gained approach. So
yep.
Shane Lowry, guys, he's going to start off the card. I think he's really close. You can actually get him at 30-1 shop around. That's where I did pull the trigger. 30-1 Shane Lowry, 40-1 first round leader. We always match up our 6-pack with the first round leader. And I also have him top 10 plus 280. Hope to get a little bit of a better number there, Connor, but only plus 280 on Lowry, top 10, and then plus 130 on top 20. What do you think of Lowry?
I love it. And that's why just, we'll go down the line. I don't know if he wins it, but guys that are great around the greens, like you think of Jordan Spieth. But the big ones that you looked at, I looked at all these stats, but the bogey avoidance, he's 3, and he was 1 just a couple weeks ago, and 2 in scrambling. You just mentioned that. Just huge stats. So if he hits it well, man, he should be right there because this guy doesn't make the bad double or triple bogey, which in the U.S. Open, this is the big one. Nobody wants that on any major or any tournament to make doubles or triples, but it's huge. Could save your round, make it even par or +1 at the U.S. Open. So I agree.
No, absolutely, yeah. No, and if it's not for your off the tee here, guys, then I keep saying it, but you're going to be scrambling the whole time here. You're going to have blind shots as well. Sorry, I'm just trying to send a message here to one of our.
Yeah.
Do you think you could? Are the links not working for our guest there, Big Show? Is there any? Yeah, just let me know if you could send. What's that, buddy? Yeah, if you could just send a link to Cam and Dubsy, that would be great. Sorry about that, guys. Technically coming off the Canadian Open, Monday came awfully quick today. It
always comes quick.
It always comes quick, especially when you're at one of these fucking events. Holy shit. Let me tell you, shuttle buses. There was about 20,000 people that all had to leave at once, and we're all getting on these shuttle buses. Over under, I gave it an hour and a half, hour and 25 minutes. Almost fucking nailed it. But yeah, we waited an hour and 25 just
under. I would have went over. Just got in on that.
I know. I said to the guy, I said about 6:30. There's about just over 4:45. And the shuttle buses will get you guys. But the coming over here, I got home pretty late, about 10 o'clock, and I've been capping this card for about 4 or 5 hours. Stayed up late for you guys, and I think we got a great card here. We've already given it 1 pick, and Shane Lowry. Watched him at the Canadian Open. Nothing wrong with his game. He actually didn't want to give me a fist pump. I went up to give Shane a props there, and he just looks at me and goes,
"He's dialed in, man."
I don't know if it was the COVID, but he goes like, no. I'm not risking giving you props, and I got COVID. Like that was the vibe I got from him. Like,
you know what? I'd wait till after the course because I heard he'll pound a few beers with you.
Fuck yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of Irish fans actually just walking around too, just drunk as fuck, screaming fucking, whatever they scream, screaming for Lowry. And I don't know, Seamus Power wasn't there, but if he was, they'd be screaming his name too. Seamus Power, actually, let me get into Seamus Power. He's on our top 40 card here. Shout out to Mike Ervelina there. God, I thought JT was going to catch Rory. It was real close there. We were talking about in the backstage there on 17. JT had a shot there. I guess he kind of tried to cut it under a tree, but he had a decent lie. Had some camera footage there, but he just didn't hit a good shot. And Rory in that first cut hit an absolute dart. Not dart, actually rolled out about 15 feet and almost, just 3-4 footer for birdie. He had so many of those. Rory McIlroy, guys, when he's on, that's what peak Rory looks like. And he shot 29 on the front 9, which was his best front 9, Connor, in the history of Rory McIlroy's career. He's never shot a 29 on the front 9. So
he was dialed.
He's dialed. And like I said before, guys, he didn't have the same caddy. He's going to have his old caddy back here. I don't know if he was at Brookline. He very well could have been at Brookline getting some notes right now. But he could be pasting some more stuff off. Just whatever Roy's doing right now, it's working. It's really working. So I could see him being the favorite at 10-1. He's not going to make the card, but in matchup bets, we'll always tweet out the matchup bets, guys, on Wednesday. I'll have some top nationality bets as well. Rory's probably going to be in that on the plus side for me. Let's get into some more golfers, though. Abraham Answer. Or no, sorry. Seamus Power, guys. I talked about Seamus Power.
Yeah, talk about Power.
Yeah, I'll go over Power really quickly. He's 69th in three-point avoidance, 58th in shots gained off the tee, 17th in scrambling. I'm liking a lot of these English players, or a lot of players that are over in Europe that are able to deal with kind of the old link style golf course, a lot of fescue, but there's going to be wind too. And Seamus Power, beginning of the year, he was right there. I don't think he's going to win, but on a top 40, plus 125, how do I say no to that? Whenever we want here. Oh, look at it. I think we got him. Cam Stewart. We got Cam Stewart here.
What are you doing, Gogster? Like, okay, like the links you're sending me, they want me to get an account and this and that. What is this? Like, is Amazon your buddy? Whatever your buddy did, it worked the second time. Jeez, man, you're killing me.
That was me, boys. Hey, how are we doing?
What up, boys? Just came over. We haven't
leave it to Big Show.
It's like getting frustrated with me.
Sorry about that, there, boys. Bad link, but we got the good one. That's why Big Show's the best producer in the industry.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining there, boys. Dubsy and Cam Stewart. We got them back here. This course, guys. First, what do you guys think of the Canadian Open? How about Rory? Like is that peak?
Oh, I love the shots at Greg Norman. Me and Dubsy have been doing it for the last couple of weeks too. I got 21, you got 20, and the thing about it is, it's amazing to me. Like here's the thing about this whole live stuff. I really don't care, to be honest with you, but it's more about the American players, and the Europeans can kind of do what they want. But Justin Thomas, he's calling guys out now. And the best is now Rory is going to be loved by everybody. He's a guy that could do anything he wants. Basically next to Tiger on the totem pole, he's pretty high. And he basically called out these guys as turkeys. He called Greg Norman a turkey. He called all these guys, you're a bunch of clowns. Another guys are talking about this tournament, like no offense to Schwartzel, like bad field winning that kind of money. So these guys are getting called out right now. And I got to tell you, Rory's going to be beloved in Canada, back-to-back championship, beloved by now American fans because he's coming out on live. And the commissioner, Monahan, obviously thinks he's amazing too. So basically, Rory's a global hero. Like he can't lose right now. His stock's not going to be any higher, and he's just ripping Norman and these guys, and people are loving it, man. It's absolutely hilarious. Atmosphere, Gogi. I know you must have loved it. It looked great down there, man. Like I'm telling you, these Canadian fans, I thought they're going to rush the green and like attack somebody. They were just,
they did.
The beers were flying. It was like the U.S. Open when Phil won. They parted the sea, right, Dubsy? And things got a little bit stupid. Oh yeah, look at that stuff. Like
that was 18 fairway. Yeah, they just completely covered it.
Amazing golf fans, man. They've been jonesing for it with COVID for a few years. So now Hamilton and St. George is a great site. You guys know it's an old traditional golf course. It's beautiful, and there's kind of I'd like to see more tours around Canada now, but selfishly, I'd like it to come back to Ontario.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome, boys. One of the better tournaments we've had all season long. The fans were out there chanting. I mean, what a leaderboard. The PGA Tour really needed that to come to fruition. I thought it was sensational. I mean, the last group, JT, Finau, Roy McIlroy, I mean, it shows when a couple of things are different for him. He gets out of his own way. He was fantastic. Yes. So the PGA Tour absolutely love that. But to Cam's point, I mean, when you see a guy like Charles Schwartzel making $4.75 million, a lot more guys are going to find that was the worst leaderboard. I mean, the top 10, I didn't even recognize 9 of the names. Absolutely.
Blastus? Hey, your boy, Dubsy.
To Blastus, Team South Africa. But I tell you what, boys, I mean, it's easy for McIlroy to come out and say, hey, we're all on the PGA Tour. He's made $67 million. He doesn't have any financial concerns. No. So, of course, he's going to be at that. Mad.
And I know Gogster feels the same way. I think it's the American guys. You kind of betrayed the tour. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of different for the Euros, I think. It's like, good point. And you guys know, Dubsy, you're a caddy. Gogster, you know that. Connor Mack, you guys know. These guys are playing for less money. Like you saw the event this week where the lady won. Like she made 300,000 euros. Look what Rory made to win the Canadian Open. Big difference. Yeah. Those guys, if they're thinking about stuff and money, and Richard Bland said it. I'm Richard Bland. I'm done. Like I'm basically going to play on the senior tour and I'm going to make my money. And for guys like Phil and Dustin Johnson to like turn their back on the PGA Tour, and I hate to say it, guys like Tiger Woods putting money in their pocket for what he did and the purse is so big. That's the whole thing. Like if I'm those guys, I don't know how I would come back in the locker room and say, hey, everybody, it's Dustin Johnson and DeChambeau. You guys want to be friends? They're like, no, we don't. Like you guys bolted. That's your problem.
It's like leaving a sports team on a bad foot, really. It's like, are you really going to want to come back to that team? No, they're not. They don't really want you back, to be honest. That's kind of why I see it too. So it's interesting. I don't know if I'll probably be watching, but I have the Portland.
Well, I bet on Charles. I don't care. Like the money.
You got to bet. You got to bet.
I'm feeling Cam right now. He's 1 for 1. But let's move on to the PGA there this week, guys. Brookline, I already went into it a little bit there. It's a crazy course, similar to this one, guys. Very old course, 1892, not 19, 1892. had the 1999 Ryder Cup, 1913 U.S. Open, but it's similar to the last one, guys. You got to be strategic. You can't be bombing it off the tee. You're going to have blind shots, small greens. Like these are little dime greens, like not nickels, guys, but dimes. Like we're talking tiny little greens. Dubsy, Cam, what do you guys think? What are you looking at the golf course? What do you think's the winner's gonna have to pull up?
Boys, I think it'll be similar to last week, what we saw up there in Toronto. You've got to keep it in play. Not so much distance, which we usually fall into at the US Open. What is it, 7,200 yards? It's a shorter golf course. So I think accuracy off the tee, smaller greens, you need good iron play, and then factor in a good short game. But I do think the rough is going to be really penal, but not so much bombers. Keep it in play this week.
Yeah, guys. I don't know. Justin Rose really showed me something last week, too. Maybe he's a guy that we can look on the list. I'm not sure if he's going to win this tournament. Maybe somebody for like a top 10, top 20 play. I really like the way he finished. And that's the thing about this guy. He's won a U.S. Open. Didn't he win at Marion? So he's a guy that pars. He can get pars, and that's a good score. Cam Young's a guy that I'm always going to take now. I know his odds aren't great, but he has the length, right? So those are guys that I'm looking at right now. And let's call it out for what it is. If Rory's hitting the ball like that, we have big problems at his price. But how is Justin Thomas not going to be there? You know, he's going to be inspired after losing to Rory in a showdown duel like that. Justin Thomas, we won the last time, but I'll tell you, like out of the chalk, I got to take him. Not sure about Rahm, right, Dubsy? Like I out of the guy, Rory, and Rory's price is less. So I would look basically at Justin Thomas right now at chalk. I'm looking at Justin Rose, Cam Young, and maybe we'll throw another couple flyers out there, guys. But those are guys that I've put on the short list so far.
Yeah, I agree with you, Cam. JT is going to be a factor. I like it that he didn't win yesterday. Now he's going to have that motivation, and his golf game tailor-made for this one. A guy who I'm interested to see what you boys think. I mean, Cameron Smith, the short game, the putting, unbelievable, but he's all over the ballpark. Such a high ceiling. What do you think? Can he be a factor? Because you're getting a pretty good number on him, Cam Smith, 21-1. It's not bad.
I was right there with Cam Smith. I actually got a fist pump from Cam. He was at that point in the stage, Dubsy, where he didn't care. Everyone was coming up fist pumps. He's like, sure, why not, mate? You know, blah blah blah. Like he didn't really care. But
I think that's his problem.
I know, and that's what I think's not good off the tee. You got to have more focus off the tee here. It's not going to work. It's even going to be worse. It's going to be tougher, even tougher than what it was this week. So I don't know about Cam Smith. I think this is a course you got to take for what it is. Like that's where Justin Rose. He doesn't try to do too much. He just takes the old style golf course. Like you don't try to overdo.
What about out of the live gear boxes? What about Louis? Like is he a top 10 maybe? Or?
None of them, Cam. You're done. None of them. They're all in terrible form.
More tractors.
Terrible form.
Yeah.
It's tough because you know what, guys? I think Pebble Beach, I was talking to Connor, I think that's a good comparison. This is in a weird way like an East Coast Pebble with the small greens, tight fairways. You got a weird par 5 that's really uphill, just like that one at Pebble. And you know who did really well there was Louis. He was runner-up twice. Third place the first time, but he does really well there. He's a guy that just takes the course for what it is. So Louis, I don't know. You know,
he's
what
been off this year though. He just hasn't been right the last few months.
75-1.
I think he's given up, boys.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. It's just like
I did hear some things.
The thing I like about Justin Thomas is he has a killer instinct. He's rich, but he doesn't care. He plays sports for the right way, and that's the whole problem. He's more of an old school guy. I don't care about money. I want prestige. And that's separated Tiger from everybody back in the day. He just wanted it more. And Rory's starting to get that killer instinct. Like, remember, he's like a teddy bear before. Now he's showing teeth, ripping Greg Norman in press conferences. He's a different guy. He's like, let's go. You want to dance?
He's going to have to back it up now. Rory looks fantastic. He's looked fantastic all year.
He's jacked.
He fixed the short game. Yeah. I mean, he's short, but he is jacked. He's in good shape.
Yeah. No, like, I don't know if you guys know, but like Rory McIlroy on the golf course, he's a fucking, like, he's like Justin Thomas compared to Rory McIlroy. Justin Thomas is like a string bean, as you say, Cam.
Yep.
But one more thing about Louis, he's actually, I know he's big into farming and stuff. Like he's talked about other things other than golf. So that, you know, his past 2019, 2020 could be in the past. But moving forward to this week, guys, enough of the course. What do you guys, who do you guys like? Who's catching your radar there? Let's start with Dubsy. Who do you like?
Yeah, I think I threw it out before. I love JT at 12-1. It's not a great number. I'm going to entertain Cameron Smith because I think what we've seen the last few weeks is all motivation. He hasn't had it for these other events, but I think at the majors he finds his best stuff. He just has to club down, find some of these fairways, and then he'll absolutely tear the place up. I don't mind Cameron Young, 44-1, a guy who's getting so close to a win, and we saw it at the PGA Championship. He doesn't care if it's a major. I love the distance from him. So again, he keeps showing up despite what kind of golf course it is. So I like Cam Young there. Russell Henley as a big time flyer from 120 to 1.
Yep.
If you're looking for a top finisher, I can't support this guy winning a golf tournament. Matty Fitzpatrick, you'll hear the narrative.
Thank you.
We talked about
I've already won.
He's a top 20 guy now.
I can't get money for that
anymore.
He
drives me
frustrates
nuts.
me. He frustrates, and he's doing the reverse chipping.
And look at him close yesterday. Bogey. It's like, hey, here we go. We might get a top 5. You know, you birdie out. It's the same.
For a top 20, that's it.
Every week. He gets close.
There's Matt.
Here's your boy.
Matt.
Yeah.
Matt.
I like him too. He's
too
okay.
good.
Like it's like, but man,
he kind of grinds my gears too. Like I think he, you know what, he won the 2013 guys. He obviously likes the course. He didn't do bad. He was still minus. He just didn't make the putts when he needs to. And he starts getting loose off the tee. Like on 14 Dubsy, he went in a hole. He had to call over an official. Like he was like up to his knee, but buddy, he's a mess. He's a mess. He's a goddamn mess.
We still got the PGA Championship. He had every chance he should have won that tournament, especially with all his experience. I mean, he shows up at the majors, but he's
what do you guys think of Mito Pereira? You want to stab at him, kind of in the dark?
I love his game, Cam.
Connor, what do you think? What do you think of Mito?
I just liked how he's played after the disaster. I thought he's played pretty good golf. I had him the next week or the week after that at top 10. I don't know if he wins it, but I think he's a nice maybe top 10, top 20 this week. I just like where his head's been because that was devastating for sure.
That's the thing. All these other guys are not playing well, and this guy's actually still making a check afterwards. I'd be in the insane asylum. Like, I can't believe it. With your best friend there, Neiman's there to congratulate you, and man, that's the thing about golf. It's tough, but he's a tough guy. Like you're right, Connor Mack. He's been grinding hard, and he's never going to quit. So I'm not sure if he's going to win, but he's got the game. The guy's underrated.
Good number as well.
Some other guys. Now, what do you guys think of old what do you call him there? The pillow guys there, Xander Schauffele and
the pillow fighter? Him and
pillow fighters.
When did they get a shot? I mean, both of them have great records at the US Open. This style of golf course, keep it in play. Yeah. Look, I wouldn't be shocked if either one of them win a major in the next 5 years. I mean, they're too good not to. They've just both got to figure it out up top. And for Cantlay, I mean, he's got to have the motivation. I mean, not even making it through the weekend. As good as his game is, I mean, I'd probably lean towards Cantlay, and you're still getting a good number on him. But do
you like that, Dubsy, when golfers like miss the cut, say +8, +9, then they come back the next week? Do you usually like jumping on golfers even if they had like a bad first week?
I do. I don't mind that, but it scares me for Cantlay because he's never showing up to the majors. Like it's it's pathetic for a guy with so much game. I still see him being, top 3, top 4 in the world. And this is a golf course. He's not the longest hitter, but what does he do well? Keeps it in play. Good short game. Great putter when he's on. He should be there. He's got a good record at the US Opens. I'd have to entertain it.
Shifley's a lot like Fitzpatrick. There's always Lee Royal. They're actually a very similar player. They're guys who can't close. They're great golfers. They should win a hell of a lot more, but they always have a disaster at the end of the round. Double bogey. You were there, Gogster. Like this guy was there. He let that round fall apart. Like from round 2, his last 5 holes, round 3, gagging at the end. Guy made a nice little run at the start of the final round. Can't get, like, that's the thing. Like, it's just, you can't win top 10, top 20, but I can't take these guys to win anymore. Some guys just don't have it in them. They can't win.
Yeah. No. And one thing maybe for Xander, like he grew up around Pebble, right? So I know he's used to those small greens. I don't think are going to scare him by any means. So Xander, I think a top 20 probably on Xander. I don't think he's going to win, but he's going to cash a nice paycheck probably at the end of the day. A guy I did play, guys, Lowry. I think his game's just ripe right now around the greens, money. Off the tee, the guy's, he keeps it straight, steady Eddie there, guys. So I think 30 to 1. I like Lowry, 40 to 1 first round leader, also top 10, top 20. More into the 6-pack here. Daniel Berger. I'm going to go with Burger Town here. One thing would be 3-putt avoidance. I don't like that, but more we're talking about this, guys. When the greens are so small, Dubsy, you're not trying to avoid 3-putts. You're just you should be in 2-putting, no?
Yeah, there shouldn't be many 3-putts out there this week. So. Yeah, it's probably going to help the poorer putters because if you find on the dance floor 2-putt, that's
what about him?
I love Sungjae Im's game.
The problem is, I love him too. It's just, is he going to win? Like, it's one of those times I want to be there. Like, I want to be on that ticket.
He's good enough. He's good
enough. You don't want to be off it when it happens. You're going to be like, shit.
No, I can't get off. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, that's like Lowry too. Yeah, and he's T10, guys. He was T10 M at the Memorial, and he was T15 at the Charles Schwab. M's been playing good golf. He's putting on the same bent grass. He had a week off. One more thing, guys. When walking that golf course, it was a bitch. So I can tell you, walking this one's not going to be any easier. So the guys that got the week off, I give a slight, physical. I don't know about you, Dubs. You've obviously been out there more, but when you're walking really tough golf courses, does it catch up to you? Or
yeah, absolutely, especially for the older boys. But I don't mind guys playing the week before because you got those competitive reps in, and you need that coming into this one. You see guys who take a couple of weeks off before a major. Sometimes they come out the gates, Thursday round one scoring not so good. But mate, one name I want to throw at you boys. He's been back, showing up on leaderboards. The Italian stallion. Francesco Molinari.
Oh, boy.
What do you think?
Fellow Italian, Molinari.
This is a course where I think he could be a factor. Plus 190 for a top 40. I'd entertain
Yeah, that's good.
I don't think
I like it for a top 40.
I remember it was like 200 and something to 1, the same thing. The guy looked at the leaderboard, I'm like, he's there, but then kind of faded. But no, I like for a top 30, 40 for sure. I think Molinari definitely could be there.
I don't mind that either, Dubs. The only thing I'd hold back about it would be off the tee. He doesn't gain much off the tee. So if he does get in the rough there, he's gonna battle his way. But if he's hitting the fairways around the green's been good approach putting. Yeah, it's sneaky play on Molinari. I don't mind that at all.
It's gonna be tough, boys. It's gonna be tough. This course is gonna beat them up. I think it plays tougher than what we saw at the PGA. The weather, if we get a bit of wind, let that rough go out. This could be exciting.
Do you see what they're calling for right now, Dubsy? 20 to 26 from Thursday to Saturday.
Bring it on.
It should be sunny too, so they'll just dry them out firm and fast.
Love it.
I don't know when we're going to talk to you, Dubsy. I'm filling in for Scotty today, but I hope you're on the show tomorrow. We could break it down because,
100%.
Yeah, we'll have some guys. I don't know, Gogster. I'm thinking Justin Thomas is my chalk. I think we got to ride M, Young, and Rose. Those are four horses in my stable. There's going to be more though. I got to figure out a couple other.
We're just getting started. We're just getting started, guys. We haven't even we haven't grazed it yet. But so far with Dubsy, I got down JT, Cam Smith, Young, and Henley. So
I like it.
I believe that's what
Let's
Dubsy's
cash
on.
one, boys. Let's cash a fatty.
I love it. Let's cash a fatty and smoke a fatty when we're done. It's Sung JM for Cam Stewart. He also likes JT Young as well. And who was that last one?
Justin Rose.
Justin Rose. Smooth minus 10 last week's last round. So
what a round.
Yeah, I really like that one, guys. Other than that, I'm gonna go over my 6-pack really quickly, and I think we're gonna close up here. If you guys want to stay, by all means, or if you got to run. I got Lowry though, guys. I got Daniel Berger. I think he's going to be steady enough right now. He gets a lot of fairways. Hasn't played in a little bit, but we'll see. Sung JM form's good enough right now. Max Homa he's the guy you got to be betting on, I think, right now. And Steady Eddie Max Homa, he's 50.
I like that he wins.
He knows how to win right now.
He's not afraid.
55 to 1 first round leader, 50 to 1 outright, top 10. He's plus 400, top 20, plus 180. I'm also going to have matchup bets. Number 5, Tommy Fleetwood. This is the Englishman I think is going to do well here. He's coming into form now. He hasn't played over here in a little bit. He was T10 at the Open in I don't know what the Open was there. I don't know. Do you got it there, WZ, by any chance?
No. When was this?
Filipino Open or something. Anyway, it was some Open over there, guys.
He's going to get a massage.
He was going to get a massage. Exactly.
Tommy Fleetwood. What a set of lettuce.
What a set of lettuce. I'm going with Lettuce Head himself here. I like him. He's 66 to 1. The guy's been playing better golf right now, and he hasn't won over here. I do think he can win a big one. 26th in scrambling. It was also T35 at the Charles Schwab, and off the tee this year, he's 16th. T16 off the tee shots gained. So I think the Englishmen are going to do quite well. Cam's on Rose. I'll be on Fleetwood. And last one here, guys, local contention, Keegan Bradley. This guy's from the area. He's going to be. He knows this guy. He grew up in this kind of golf style of golf course. He's been playing well. He was T5. Or where is he here? Keegan. He was T37 Memorial, T48. But I think his style of golf is. I just want to take someone that's the kind of the local contention, right? And he's 100 to 1, 80 to 1 first round leader. What do you guys think of Keegan?
I think he's a dog. You put him in the mix on Sunday. He's outstanding. He just needs the putter to work, but. You look at strokes gained tee to green. I mean, he's actually got a really good golf game. As awkward as he looks over the golf ball, he can play.
Taking a shit there.
Yeah, right.
At his price, I think it's a really, really good pick. I'm not sure if he's going to win, but he could be right there.
Yeah, and I have him top 10 plus 650, top 20 plus 280 there, and 2 more first-round leaders. Corey Connors, the smaller the greens, the better for Corey. And he had a really good Sunday. I wouldn't be surprised he has a really good Thursday here. He's 55-1. And one more player here, Siwoo Kim. This guy's slowly been playing a lot better golf. First-round leader, I can see him going 6 or 7 under, maybe, or even 4 or 5, depending what the first-round leader will be. I think he's got a shot, too. Really good off the tee. Steady Eddie. He could blow up. I could see him blowing up one of these rounds, but I think first-round leader, 100-1, Siwoo Kim, to take a bomb out of the sports books.
We like that. Okay. We like that.
Like Siwoo Kim.
Love it. Connor, you got anything there? You got any picks, or what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good. You mentioned I think Lowry is a guy, just the bogey avoidance, the scrambling, just numbers for U.S. Open. These are guys I'm looking at. And you mentioned Cam and Dubsy. It's the chalk, but Justin Thomas, all the numbers, he's right there on everything on the PGA Tour, scrambling, bogey avoidance, all that stuff. He's just playing great golf. So he's the guy at the top I think you have to look at. It won't be easy to win back-to-back majors, but lately, some guys have done it. And even, so.
It'll be motivated. After Rory beat him, like that, just he has that killer mentality. I want him, like, if we have a Sunday and he's a few shots back, even if he, like, look how he came back in that tournament. He just never quit. And Mito did his thing and screwed it up. And there we go. Here's and Zalatoris is there, and Justin Thomas is there to pick up the pieces. That's what he does, right? So even if he screws up, he's not going to quit till he totally knows he's done. Absolutely done.
Our guy Fat Wally says Keegan Bradley's going to be the rich strike of the U.S. Open.
Wow.
I love it. That's a little Mo Donegal, huh?
Oh, Mo Donegal. I watched her with Cam there. That was
we went out. Great. Yeah, we hit
no money
hard, baby. Nice.
What'd you have it at, Cam? I mean, there just wasn't a lot of value in that race, huh?
Yeah, 5-2 though. It could have been close. You know what, Dubsy? It's one of those things. I was telling Gogster, I go, if he gets Gogster notes, he goes, if he gets on the outside down the stretch, he's won. He didn't get any traffic trouble. We're like, we got this. Yeah, remember, he should have been there in the Kentucky Derby. He got absolutely smoked coming out of the gate.
Did well come in fifth.
He was a stone cold closer.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah,
absolutely.
One more thing, you guys know I'm a huge fan of this guy. I haven't brought him up in quite a while. You might be able to guess. He's from Mexico. His name is Abraham Answer.
Okay, that's my
Abraham Answer. Pull him out. Pull out the Abraham Answer beer here. He's not on the 6-pack, but top 20 guys. I was a big fan of him last year. I know his style of game. He loves the smaller the greens, the better for Abe. Smaller the better. He doesn't do as well in the bigger golf courses. This is a smaller course. You got to keep it in the fairway. He's always been really good at his off the tee fairway gaining strokes.
Yeah.
He's a 3-putt avoidance, not as important, but he is 9th. Scrambling is 78th, but he's better at smaller greens. Smaller the green, the better for Abe. I don't know if he's going to win. He also did well at the PGA. If you guys remember, I believe he was in the mix, right? So I think Abe Answer, maybe even a top nationality on Wednesday. I might tweet that out. Top Mexican, Abraham Answer, because I think it's time to jump back on this guy. Abe Answer. And Aaron Wise, another one too, guys. Aaron Wise.
I love him.
Slowly playing better, eh?
He is playing good golf.
I mean, you throw 3 guys, and I don't know who the win's coming for first. Aaron Wise is one of the PGA Tour. It's been a minute, though, but Cameron Young, Davis Riley. I love those 3 young guys.
Davis Riley.
One of them's getting back soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like those lower tournaments, maybe coming up the 3M Open or, the John Deere, kind of those lower ones. I agree there, Dudsy.
I'll talk to you later in the week, Gogster. I got to go. I'm joining Pharrell today. I'm Carver, so they're going to snap on me pretty soon. So I better go.
All righty, Cam. Thank you so much for jumping on.
See you, Cam.
We'll see you again later, Cam. Be a good guy.
Later.
All righty, guys. There's Cam Stewart, the one and only. Shout out to Cam. Check him out on Twitter. CamStewartLive does wonders for the sports industry for years. So be sure to check him out. Thoughts on Willie Z from Micah Ervelina? Oh boy, Willie Z.
It's got to happen soon, boys. Right?
It's happen soon. But is
this the spot though? I mean, he is so. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Interesting though.
Yeah. How's the putting going to be? Smaller greens, fast. Maybe that helps him.
Well, right away, the first thing I wanted to look at was how he did the AT&T Pebble Beach, because that was at Pebble, right? He was T6. He gained 1.13 strokes. That's a good sign for me right there. And then U.S. Open, I don't believe he played in that. Oh, shit, he did. Yeah, again. So he did. Yeah, and he was T12 at the U.S. Open, gained strokes again. So you know what? Willie Z, I don't have anything bad to say about him here. Smaller the greens, the better too, right, Dubs? You like a Connor?
Yeah, for him, I don't mind him round one low score 41-1. Willie Z, it's only a matter of time. He has to get it done.
You'd really think, and these greens too, guys. You got a lot of turn. I remember you saying on one of our shows, W, that maybe it's not the flat putts that Willie Z likes. It's the ones that have a little more curve.
Yeah,
so you can kind of set it on a line and just kind of let it
get
go.
him out of his own way.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and that's what happened. That's what happened to Rory yesterday. Him doing his own yardages by not having the caddy there.
That's what I
mean, he was so locked in. It had him fully engaged. He knew exactly what shot he was playing instead of like, what's the number?
Yeah,
okay, we'll do
what's
this
the number? Yeah,
I think that was a big difference for him.
Yeah, actually, let me just pull it up right here. You actually see Rory here. There's Tony. There's Rory right there walking. He walks it off right there.
He's a ledge.
He did a lot more of that, like he was saying, because he didn't have his normal caddy, Dubsy? He had
he had his mate, some rugby plays caddy for him once before. The normal caddy's mate, I think he's due to have a baby, but maybe he's back on the bag. But I'd be telling him, stay at home. I mean, we got something going. When Rory's on,
everything off, and
I mean, he is just unbelievable. Such a good athletic motion. It was poetry to watch.
It was. Now, one thing, Dubsy, right when I got there, you could see how soft the greens were. Like it literally hit and it stuck. It didn't move at all. So it was really easy for them to control spin on the greens, even if they're in the rough. To be honest, like it didn't roll off. So this week we got that wind and not as much rain. They're going to get stuck. It's going to be a lot more. It's going to be, I say final score will probably be what, -9, 10?
Yeah, that might be generous. Maybe we get like a 6 under par, especially if there's wind out there. Because with these small greens, if they're firm, one hop, you're over the back, you're in the deep rough, and you're trying to get up and down. So I think short game scrambling, it's going to be massive this week.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that's why we got Shane Lowry, #1 on the ticket there, guys. They're going to go over the 6-pack here. We're going to close it out with the 6-pack. Connor, he always tweets out his action there. I believe Wednesday, and he also has his show there on Prize Picks, right, Connor? You got the Prize Pick show on Wednesday, so he'll have some action then. Dubsy Anderson, as always, Dubsy, appreciate your time, mate.
Pleasure, boys. Let's have ourselves a week, huh? Cash some fatties. That's what it's all about.
Hell yeah.
Right, fatties is right. We got to get out golfing too, Dubsy. Set some lines and get Gogster and Dubsy out there.
Stop it. Dynamic duo. It'd be like Brandel Chambly taking on Greg Norman. The excitement, the fisticuffs we throw soon, boys.
How do you putt on Bent there, Dubsy?
It depends how many White Claws are in me.
Oh, there we go.
That's what it comes down to, mate. That's what Willie Z knows. He needs to get loaded before he tees off on the weekend. Get a bit of JD in your son.
You know what? Little JD, little one of those airplane vodka shots, right?
Change it, man. Come on now.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, guys. Shane Lowry's #1 on the card, 30-1, 40-1 first round leader. Daniel Berger, 50-1 or 50 first round leader as well. Sung J M, same thing, 50-50. Max Homa, the sneaky play. I think those odds are going to go down for him, 55-1 right now. And also, 50-1, 55-1 first round leader. Tommy Fleetwood, 66-1. And then Keegan Bradley, 100-1. I think this guy, local contention, he's been waiting for this. Is he going to win? I'll have a stab him at 100-1, but the top 10 guys, plus 650 Bradley, plus 500 Fleetwood, plus 400 Homa, plus 425 on him. You get any one of those, you're in the money, right? So take advantage of the plus numbers. I'll tweet out all my action, Ego47_. Until then, guys, we'll be back next week with, I believe it's the Travelers Championship. So enjoy this one, guys. US Open. It's always nice to have another major. Brookline, one of the oldest courses you're going to see, top 5 in the world, Dubsy. I look forward to hearing your spiel on your show there later this week, because you always bring the heat.
Bring it on, boys. Bring it on, baby. Top 4 weeks of the year, hands down, son. Let's dance. Let's dance.
Marriage, anniversary, Christmas, put it to the side. You got the US
not
Open.
Even close, baby. Not even when Lefty's back in the press room. Come on now.
Can't wait, guys. All right, be good, guys. Enjoy your week. Cash some tickets, and we'll be back again next week for the PGA Pub Hub. Cheers.